I made a video why I don't chase women of today's world. In this video I want to talk about why I don't respond to those women that gawk at me. There's a lot of negativity in today's day and age, and being a public person with a weekly access TV show in the same area and being reachable, I think that if we're becoming more of a conscious society, people would reach out to me, or women of today's day and age would reach out to me in a romantic sense that are within 30 miles of where I'm living. Best case scenario, 5 miles. I'm in a metro area with well over 1 million people. So what I'm getting at is I don't respond to people gawking or checking me out at the gym or anything else. It's a world where a lot of people are locked into their animalism. And a lot of people throughout my lifetime, certain women, have been or have considered me attractive physically. But as far as who I really am, the Alex Answer that some of you know, that part of me that shares information and certain ideas that aren't exactly popular, that's a turn off. That is a turn off for most women. So I don't waste my time responding. I may respond with eye contact briefly, but I usually just focus my attention away. I don't play games. I've had my emotions manipulated, and I would even say raped, by a number of people in my life, including family. I've had my emotions raped. And so, if females want to show themselves to me in a physical sense, within proximity, I understand and I appreciate those that are thousands of miles away. But we all must come to grips with this phenomenon of all the only support for whatever I'm doing coming from thousands of miles away. And I'm grateful for it when people do comment, but a few people can't fill a void of 35 years of life. It doesn't work that way. And that message is just for a few people out there. It doesn't work that way. In reality, there's got to be more of a reason why I am in Portland going through this experience. And it is very unique of an experience to be somewhere like at the community center where I use the gym and shower, and to have some of the female employees constantly looking at me when they're going in and out of their office. And I know what they're asking themselves: what is someone doing here using our services or being a member? Because most of the homeless that go in and out of there are all men and older. Although there have been a few younger ones that have been in there briefly, but mostly older, so people just assume, oh, old drunk, And they're going, well, he's pretty fit and strong. He's quiet, doesn't hang out here all day. He's clearly on the go. He's intelligent. I'm actually posting articles to AMTV Media. So sometimes I'm there for an hour and a half getting that work done in the morning. They're like, he's thinking. He's able to run this blog. And just bookmark the headlines section at ammedia.com. Just bookmark that feed. You can see the headlines I post. And my website's also still in construction, but they can see that I'm working. Some people may recognize me from the show, and they're baffled. They're like, that's that person that we used to see on TV, which people usually associate with fame and fortune and popularity, not when you're talking about the things that I talk about. And there are ways to make money in the alternative media, but it revolves mostly around selling things and promoting fear and keeping people on the edge of their seat, constantly coming back to the website for the next shot of adrenaline. And so there is a commercial model to alternative media, but I'm not currently utilizing it myself. I'm pretty non-materialistic, although I do appreciate having something material like this to shelter me. This kind of material is important, and it helps when I have food to eat. And I just ate, and that feels great after a workout. I've certainly put my body through a lot of pain because of my the budget that I'm on, working out, and actually my body cannibalizing the muscle that I've actually built. I actually lost 10 pounds a few weeks ago, something I don't really want to admit. And yet, there's been a lot of people that have really tried to tear me apart emotionally. People that have developed obsessions with me, obsessions with this channel, obsessions with what I do with my life, obsessions on my background, obsessions on where I'm going. There's a lot of people that obsess in some pretty unhealthy ways in my direction on the internet, but that's a side story, an issue. What I'm here to communicate in this video, and instead of doing a bunch of these every single day, I'm gonna catch up on Saturdays and maybe do a couple webcams, my down day. There's a lot of reasons why I don't respond to women when they're checking me out, because I don't know where it's coming from, and a lot of women don't smile when they look. They stare and they scowl, even if they may be attracted. In this area, I don't know what it's like where you live. It may be similar, but they have this look of anger. And because I do what I do, and a lot of people have seen this face. A lot of people have seen this face locally. Because I'm speaking against these mass ways of thinking, there's a lot of resentment that almost seems to be built up locally against the fact that I even exist. And being sensitive, I feel that. And I feel like that's been a big contributor to my, the lifestyle that I'm living. I'm not the only one going through this. Many others are going through it as well. But there's a number of different things that can contribute to someone being stereotyped. Be they a conspiracy theorist, darker skinned, in the most whitest city in America, or maybe other issues where someone's just assuming, hey, you know what? We don't know if we can trust that person to even work at our place, even if they have a stable work history. Or what would the neighbors think? What would the parents think? What would the girlfriend think if we were associated with this person that obviously has been very active online doing these things? People forget that the world is like that, especially people that haven't put themselves out there on the chopping block with the YouTube channel in their actual first and last name, not, Ninja 757 digit 353PO. When you put your actual name out there, your first and last name, that name's out there forever. And you're that guy. You're that conspiracy theorist. You believe things other people don't believe. And it becomes an issue that separates one from society. That's the price one pays. It's called being exiled on a social level. And I've been in this category for multiple years, but yet living the unique lifestyle of making videos about it, doing a weekly show, and even when I left the show, I still kept doing videos when I was in Colorado. And now doing the daily radio show on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. It's just not heard of. And that's also something that fascinates me. I don't know of anyone else out there still, and I've asked people to send me links. If you know someone who's homeless, either in Portland or somewhere else, and they have their own radio show or TV show or website, or if they are an author, there are very few, even links that come back. There's a few links to a few cop watching videos. There's maybe a link to a YouTube channel about homelessness. But there aren't very many that people have sent me. In fact, people aren't sending me any links to other people's shows and channels where they're currently going through the complete home-free experience, where they either just living out of a backpack or living out of their trailer. And I don't even know of that many online radio shows that are being done out of an RV, but there's probably more in that category, because that's definitely a step up from being actually just living out of a backpack. But what I'm getting at is people should want to share their story if they're on the non-materialistic path and they've escaped slavery. And a lot of people today with their brand new cars and their rent for $1,000, $1,500 a month, a lot of people don't know that they are slaves. That, there's this leash on their neck that prevents them from doing the things that they really want to do. And for a lot of people, and that includes being in good relationships. I could think back 10 years ago, things like time were always an issue. Either time on my part to go out with someone because I was busy working, or there were some times where something was planned to be with someone, and then I was on call to go bus tables, and I felt miserable going to my job and basically feeling like I was a slave, like my masculinity was being crushed in front of this woman, like you're a busser, you got to go work at this restaurant, even though, she's looking at Alex Ansary, host of Outside the Box, you know, she's feeling empowered about things that I'm saying, and then she's also losing respect for me by seeing me having to crawl off to work. There's a lot of different reasons why women find reasons not to respect some of us men in this world, and I would really like to put the focus on men that are doing good things in the world, as opposed to stand up for all men, because there's some bastards out there, and there's a lot of bastards out there that treat me like shit. There's a lot of men out there that treat me like shit, so no way am I participating in any gender wars, and in fact, most of the support that's coming my way right now is from females. And I feel like when I start breaking through the matrix and I start talking about how it really is, that's when help comes through. That's when all of a sudden people are magnetically almost drawn to listen to videos that I'm saying, when I'm actually showing that I have bravery and I'm willing to say the things that need to be said, even if I'm socially exiled. And I'm grateful, even if it's internet-based only and it's thousands of miles away. I am grateful for that, but it is a very interesting phenomenon to do what you're doing in the same geographic area for like over a decade and have everybody within thousands of miles pretty much not even give a damn about your situation and not even offer suggestions. It's a city and it's a place that very much has fallen, as I've said in other videos. This plays a huge role in the blackening of hearts that I've seen here, the numbing of the heart. There's a lot of numbing of the heart chakra here, and there's a lot of lack of empathy, although, and I'm covering many things in this video, a lot of people will say that psychic phenomena doesn't exist, that we're not psychic. People are psychic. If you look at, maybe it's just the power of my gaze, if I so much as look at someone for several seconds, they're going to look up like, what you looking at? You know, or even if I just glance at someone, some people will act paranoid and start looking behind them as if they're being stalked by me. Now that is psychic phenomena, when someone knows that someone's looking at them. But why don't people show that same awareness as to what's going on in the world right now with the homeless epidemic, with this manufactured gender war and all these manufactured threats, ISIS threats that are meant to keep us on the edge of our seat, 9/11, why we're really moving into surveillance society, the plans for World War III. How can people act like they're not aware? Of course they're aware of things. They're pretending they're not aware. On a deeper level, they know something's wrong and they are knowingly going along with all this. So as long as people are knowingly going along with all this, as long as many women knowingly are in this slave-master relationship that they're choosing voluntarily to not break that chain, they have chosen, some of them, to not break it. That's why a guy like me isn't going to be attractive. The real me, the real Alex Ansary, not my face, not my naked body, none of those things, who I actually am and what I stand for. I understand the experience of feeling treated like an object that some women go through in today's society, where some men will just go, oh, look at that ass, look at those titties, wow. And she's like, hey, I'm not a sex object, I'm an actual woman, I have feelings, I have art, poetry. And they're like, yeah, just suck my dick. Well, you know what? Women are just like that too. And so when I see people checking me out sometimes, I read that energy and I run it and I'm going to go, okay, it's based in physicality. And a lot of them, you know, they're disappointed. They're like, he's not flirting with us. He's not playing the game. He's not yielding. He's not even looking at us. His attention psychically is barely on us. He's focusing on what he's looking at the computer. Oh, he must be crazy. Or again, I can feel their thoughts. What's wrong with him? Why is he here? What, you know, and they sit there and they mind fuck it. And the other thing, and I probably should close, I disrupt their reality like there's a good-looking guy, healthy, intelligent, and he clearly has nowhere to go. And a lot of people don't want to face the truth that there are many of us that have been discarded by family, by women. We've been discarded. We've been thrown away. And the thing is, some of us haven't killed ourselves. Some of us have chosen to stay alive. And I was already on the path of using video and audio to share my ideas. I'm not going to stop doing that just because I don't have a home. I'm not going to stop doing that. And so it's like my very existence and the holding of the camera right now, and probably the 10 or 15 people that have actually walked by this trailer and heard the things that I've been sharing with you the last 15 minutes, and I'd say there's about 5 to 10. I am a beacon sending out a signal of truth by sharing what I've been going through as it's happening. These things are happening. Good people are being discarded in today's society. We are being consumed by the machine. And some of us have chosen to escape the clutches of the machine that's trying to grind us into meat for consumption. And I mean that in a figurative way. Because our energy is certainly harvested in some of these energy harvesting centers, these dense population centers. And I feel like Portland is a capital, an Archon capital, if you will, although that's not known to today's man. That's not taught in schools. There's a reason. It's almost as if people have been given the love bite. A term coined by Eve Lorgan. Check out her work, evelorgan.com. My interview with her will be online in a few days. It's online now at AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Check out Friday's show. People have been given like love bites in some ways by these dark cubit entities that have their own interests in controlling human love relationships, and I believe that. But people can also be given the bite or be infected on a conscious level and be told, hey, go to that city. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have been given that bite to come here and feed off of what is not already destroyed. And it's animalistic, it's barbaric, it's primitive. It's ooga booga. It's as ooga booga as it gets when there are so many wonderful places to start a new city or colony or community in America. The idea of coming to a place like Portland, Oregon, this fallen wasteland of the wounded goddess, long captured by mankind, not a conscious act at all. This is a primitive, barbaric land that I was born into. But the transplants don't know it yet. They just know it's not LA. So I think I've given you a good dose of my philosophies of the moment on life, on Portland, on a lot of things. And these are the reasons why I basically shut out, turn my awareness away from even good-looking women that are looking right at me. It's the energy that they have. They're looking in lust. They're not communicating with me on a human level. And I'm not at a level right now where I'm going to play the game so I can just jump into bed with random people. I don't do that anymore. And I don't kowtow to nobody. And I've said enough.